If I could go back and whisper these three truths to my 45-year-old self, sitting in that pharmacy break room, feeling like life was passing me by, everything would have changed a lot sooner. As someone who has transformed her entire world after 55, I'm about to share some life-changing realizations that really took me decades to discover, but you don't have to wait that long. I'm Angela, and before I reveal these game-changing insights that literally helped to rewire my entire approach to living, I want you to know that if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling invisible, or wondering to yourself, is this all there is? I'm offering a few complimentary one-to-one breakthrough calls where we're going to uncover what's really holding you back, and we're going to design a personal roadmap to the life that you actually want. I'm sure there are things that you want about your life currently, but I'm sure that there's a lot of things that you don't have in your life that you would like. And this isn't about starting over. It's really more about starting from where you are with the wisdom that you've gained already. The link to book this call is in the description below. We're going to spend 45 minutes creating clarity about your next chapter, and you'll leave with a concrete action plan. But first, let me share the three truths that would have saved me a decade of playing small. And that's what I hope to do for you. At 45, I thought my life was set. Married, successful pharmacy career, owning a couple of pharmacies, kids were launched. I should have been celebrating. Instead, I felt invisible, restless, and guilty, actually ashamed for wanting more when I had everything. Does that sound familiar to you? Well, here's what nobody really is telling you about midlife. It's not a crisis. Midlife is a calling. Your soul is trying to wake you up to the possibilities that you've been too busy or too scared or too programmed to not see. But we've been conditioned to believe that, around 45 or so is when you settle, when you accept good enough, when you stop big dreaming and you stop looking at the things that you truly do want in life. I spent 5 years after 45 believing these lies, watching younger colleagues go doing things that they really wanted to do, getting promoted, and I was starting to feel like my best years in life were behind me, wondering if this quiet desperation was just normal for women at my age. But really, when I look back, I see how I was just wrong about that. And today I'm going to share the three revelations that I'm talking completely transformed my life after 50, and how understanding these truths earlier could have changed everything for me. And this isn't really about regret, it's about recognition. So if you're 45 or beyond, your most powerful chapter is just beginning. Truth number one, your identity is not your cage. The roles you've been playing are not who you are. They're just jobs that you've been doing according to what everybody else thinks that they should be. At 45, I was drowning in the identities that felt like prison cells. The responsible pharmacist, the supportive wife, the helpful mother, the daughter, the sister, the friend. And I thought these roles were me. And every decision that I made was filtered through a question. What would a good pharmacist, wife, mother do? That may not have been always conscious, but subconsciously that was there. But here's what I wish I'd known, is that you are not your roles. They are part of who you are, but they are not who you are. You are the consciousness experiencing them. Let me say that again. You are the consciousness experiencing all of those roles. And the moment you understand this distinction, everything can shift for you. The breakthrough came when I started asking different questions and from a different perspective. Who am I when nobody needs anything from me? Who would I choose if I wasn't trying to be good? And that's a big one for me. I had to be the good girl. What parts of myself have I buried under all of these different identities? I discovered I wasn't just a dispenser of medication. I was a healer. I was a guide. I was someone who could see people's potential when they couldn't even see it for themselves, including for me. And that realization became the foundation of my coaching practice and my mentorship when I work with people. So here's an action step that you can take right now. Write down every role that you play. mother, professional, wife, daughter, friend. Then beside each one, write who you are within that role. The real you, not the expected version. You might discover parts of yourself that you forgot existed. And it may be a little difficult at first, but the more that you do it, the more clarity will come. Action brings clarity. Clarity does not bring action. So by writing and starting this process, you can bring more clarity. Who is the woman you were before the world told you who you should be? She's still there waiting for you. Truth number 2, your timeline is not expired. Society's timeline for women has been completely wrong, and following it will waste some of your most powerful years. At 45, I believe the cultural lies. The career peak was behind me, romance was settling down, adventure was for younger people, major changes could be considered maybe even irresponsible. I thought I was in that maintenance phase of life. Like you work so hard, you get there, and then you're just maintenance. But that is garbage, complete garbage. Your brain doesn't stop growing at 45. It's actually primed now for its most sophisticated thinking. With all of the wisdom that you've gained, all the experience, that does not make you obsolete. It actually makes you very invaluable to the world and to those in your world. And your desire for something more isn't selfishness, it's evolution calling you. I launched my coaching business at like 55, even though I felt like I really coached a lot before that because of being a pharmacist in the community. And I've seen other women, they start traveling solo at 57. They have the deep spiritual awakenings at 60. You know, for all of us, every year it gets richer, not smaller. And here's what the research is showing, that women in their 50s and 60s report a higher life satisfaction than any other age group once they stop trying to fit in to society's expired expectations. The highest life satisfaction. That's amazing because we're not declining, we're actually refining. The biological clock pressure is gone. The people-pleasing programming is cracking at its foundation. The fear of judgment is dissolving, and you're finally free to become who you actually are. And not only who you actually are, but who you want to be. So your action step for this one is to make a list of everything that you've wanted to try, learn, or become that you've dismissed as too late. Then ask, according to who? Since when do other people get to decide your timeline? You should be the only one deciding that. Your most adventurous, creative, purposeful years are not behind you. Oh no, honey, they're not behind you at all. They're waiting for you to claim them. Truth number 3, your intuition is your superpower. Your inner voice that we've been taught to ignore is actually your greatest source of wisdom. At 45, I was completely disconnected from my body, from my intuition, from myself. You know, decades in the scientific field had trained me to trust only data, logic, and external validation. And that holds true for so many women. But that inner knowing, I labeled it at times irrational and I shut it down. But this, as I look back, I see as one of the costliest mistakes of my life. You know, your intuition isn't the enemy of your intelligence. It's actually the integration of everything that you've learned, everything that you've experienced and absorbed over the decades. Your intuition to me is like your subconscious processing millions of data points faster than your conscious mind ever could. And that's a scientific fact. But we've been taught that logical women, which we are, right? Logical women don't trust their gut feelings. That successful professionals make decisions based on facts, not feelings. But how many times have you made a decision based on facts when your gut was saying no, and then you realize that your gut was right? So this is exactly why so many intelligent women are living lives that look back on paper, that look perfect on paper, but in reality, they feel empty. And the moment I started honoring my intuitive hits, that nagging sense that there was more, that quiet, gentle voice suggesting different choices, that body wisdom that said yes or no, before my mind could even argue. When I listened to that, everything aligned. And I knew I was meant to help people transform their lives before I had any logical plan on how to do it. I had been helping them in the pharmacy. I knew I could help them in other ways also, because I felt called to blend science with spirituality before it even made a career sense. I trusted the pull towards that before I could prove it worked. But I knew that it could work because I had used it for myself. Your intuition isn't impractical. It's seeing possibilities your logical mind can't even calculate yet. So for the action step for this truth, for the next week, before making any decision, pause and ask your body and yourself, what feels true here for me? Not for anybody else, for me. And notice the first response before your mind jumps in with reasons, because you know that's going to happen. Start small, to build up your confidence in it. Which route to drive, what to eat, how to respond to an email. Practice trusting, knowing that initial revelation, that initial knowing. Practice to trust that. Your intuition has been trying to guide you towards your authentic life for years. So now it's really time to listen. Because when we listen to that inner voice and we take that action, it's aligned with who we really are. So when you really understand these three truths, that the roles you play aren't your identity, your timeline isn't expired, and your intuition is your superpower, everything becomes possible again. You stop waiting for permission and giving it to yourself, not from outside, from in you. You stop shrinking to fit other people's expectations, and you start expanding into your authentic power. You stop treating your desires as selfish, and you can recognize that they are really a guidance for you. This is what I call the Great Awakening that happens when women stop apologizing for wanting more and start creating it. The Great Awakening. And here's what I know after helping hundreds of women reclaim their lives. The women who thrive in their second half aren't always the ones who had it all figured out at 45 or 50. They weren't sure at all, but they were the ones who were brave enough to question everything they thought they knew and start fresh from a place of wisdom rather than wounding. That makes a huge difference. You start from wisdom instead of a wounded person. Your 45-year-old self wasn't behind schedule. She really was on time for her awakening. And if you're beyond 45, it's never too late for the party. You're perfectly positioned for your most powerful chapter now. The best part of your life is yet to come. Isn't that an exciting way to think about your future? So if these truths are resonating with you, if you're feeling that familiar stirring of, there's more for me, then you're ready. You're ready for the conversation that changes everything, whether that be with yourself, with me, with someone else. But remember that complimentary breakthrough call that I mentioned. And this just is not a consultation. It's really designed to be a transformation session. We'll uncover what's keeping you playing small, identify some authentic desires that you've been desiring or dismissing, and we're going to create a personal roadmap to a life that's calling you, because it is calling you. It's time to pick up the phone and say hello. I'm also currently accepting applications for my next signature program. It's going to be called Your Next Chapter Blueprint, a 3-month intensive where we are completely rewiring your relationship with possibility and design the life that you actually want to live. And I only work with a select number of women because this level of transformation really takes deep, personalized attention. And I want to ensure that everybody gets the attention that they need. So if you're done settling for fine, I'm fine. Are you really? But you're ready to discover what phenomenal, woohoo, feels like. Phenomenal. If you're tired of living someone else's version of your life and you're ready to write your own story, this is your moment. Your most vibrant, authentic, joyful chapter is not behind you. It's ahead of you. It's waiting for you to step into the truth of who you really are. And the only question really that you have to answer today is, are you ready to stop waiting and start living? If this message landed in your heart, hit that like and subscribe button for more midlife transformation content and drop a comment telling me. I respond to each and every one. What would you do if you truly believed your best years were ahead of you? That were guaranteed your best years are ahead of you. What would you do? And I'll see you in the next video. And remember, it's not too late to become who you were meant to be. Your transformation starts with your next choice.